What happens when a golfing titan's dreams are shattered by an unexpected underdog? Join us as we witness the raw and unfiltered reactions of Rory McIlroy, the legendary golfer, in the wake of Wyndham Clark's astonishing victory in the U.S. Open. Standing just outside the scoring tent, McIlroy's face etched with both disbelief and determination. He grapples with the bitter reality of falling short by a single stroke. In this gripping video, dive into the depths of McIlroy's emotional roller coaster as he reacts to Clark's triumph, offering an unfiltered glimpse into the heart and mind of a true champion. Rory McIlroy, known for his exceptional golf skills, recently shared his thoughts on Wyndham Clark's victory at the U.S. Open. In the post-round interviews, McIlroy expressed both disappointment and determination, reflecting on his own performance and discussing his plans for the future. "I didn't even need to wait for the tap-in," McIlroy said of Wyndham Clark's putt on the 18th, which secured Clark's first ever major victory. "It's just fine margins at this level, and at this tournament specifically, but I fought to the very end." One shot that really stood out for McIlroy was when he missed an important putt on the 14th hole. Apart from that, he felt good about how he played, and he mentioned that he fought until the very end.
All in all, I played a solid round of golf. Really, apart from that, I did everything else the way I wanted to.
McIlroy's determination to win major championships was evident through his resilience and refusal to give up. It felt like a painful repeat of the last year's Open Championship, where Rory shared his lead after 54 holes but couldn't make the putts he needed in the final round, allowing Cameron Smith to overtake him. Ironically, he also shot 70, 2 under, that day at the Old Course, but it wasn't enough. During his round at the Los Angeles Country Club, McIlroy didn't make many mistakes, but like at St. Andrews, he missed out on a few opportunities. For example, he missed a 16-foot birdie putt on the 3rd hole, which became a recurring theme throughout the day. From the 8th hole to the 12th hole, McIlroy missed potential birdie putts from 7 to 18 feet. While pars didn't hurt him, they didn't help either. Narrow margins of success became increasingly significant with each hole. "I don't think I was hitting bad putts, hitting them with just slightly the wrong speed," McIlroy said. "Some were coming up short, some were going a little long." Besides the short birdie putt on the 8th hole, the other shot McIlroy said he'd like to have back happened on the par 5 14th hole. McIlroy had a sand wedge into the green and a chance to get another birdie look. Instead, he flew it short, with the wind batting it down at the most inappropriate time. As McIlroy looked back on it, he said he probably should have waited 15 or 20 seconds to let the gusts subside. Instead, he made bogey. The margins had struck again. By the time he made his way down the final stretch, McIlroy was going to need a miracle to win, let alone make a playoff. Long birdie putts on 16, 17, and 18 couldn't find the back of the cup, missing multiple times by a few inches. Frustrating. Once again, the margins didn't fall on his side. And once Clark hit the green on his approach into 18, it was all over.
I just felt like my mom was watching over me today. And, she can't be here. And miss you, Mom. But I just feel like I've worked so hard and I've dreamed about this moment for so long. There's been so many times I've visualized being here in front of you guys and winning this championship. And I just feel like it was my time, and U.S. Opens are tough, and unfortunately I had a bad lie on 8, and honestly that up and down for bogey was probably the key of the tournament. It kept me in it, and that up and down 9 was huge, and then it's tough on a back 9 trying to win a tournament, and I felt at ease, and I just kept saying, all right, I can do this, and that shot on 14 was kind of the shot of the week, I feel like, for me, to make a birdie there, and then grind it on the way in.
Congratulations on winning the United States Open.
Thank you so much.
Quote, "You didn't want to wish bad on anyone, but you're really hoping for a 3-putt," McIlroy admitted. Wyndham was pretty much rock solid all day. Over the past 2 years, McIlroy has won other tournaments, including the Tour Championship, all while carrying the public-facing load of a fractured and uncertain golf world. This week, he tightened up his approach, doing fewer media appearances and further narrowing his focus while playing some of his best golf despite not having his best stuff. It all looked to be building up to a victory, but then again, so did things at the Old Course last year. Those margins keep getting in the way. The scars keep getting deeper. Once Clark's final putt dropped, McIlroy appeared to quickly make his way through the disappointment and onto something like acceptance. As he stood in front of the reporters and answered questions, that acceptance gave way to something like motivation. Like any athlete at this level who's won before, it's easy to know what goes into the necessary cocktail of self-belief after a loss. You always have to think you can win. "I'm getting close," McIlroy said. "The more I keep putting myself in these positions, sooner or later it's going to happen for me." It's hard for McIlroy to get much closer than he did in the past 2 years. Earlier this week, he talked about watching the old highlights of himself at his major last win, the 2014 Open Championship at Hoylake. It's been 9 years, and McIlroy hasn't lifted another major trophy since.
You don't want to wish bad on anyone, but you're really hoping for a 3-putt. You're hoping to somehow get into a playoff to keep giving yourself a chance, and you're rooting for one guy, and that guy's yourself at that point, and you're just hoping for the other guy to slip up or make a mistake or give you a glimmer of hope, and Wyndham was pretty much rock solid all day, and that was a great 2-putt at the last. Oh yeah, I didn't even need to wait for the tap in. It's just sort of, as soon as he cozied it up there, it was like, okay, get through this and then go home and regroup.
Last question, Kevin.
Right there. We keep having to ask you questions about how do you deal with disappointment? Do you learn things, this and that? I'm wondering if it's kind of getting exhausting to have to answer those kind of things.
It is, but at the same time, when I do finally win this next major, it's going to be really, really sweet. So, I would go through 100 Sundays like this to get my hands on another major championship.
Next month, he and the golf world are going back to Hoylake for the 2023 Open. A win there would almost be too perfect, too full circle to dream for McIlroy and the thousands of fans who have tried to will him to win on Saturday, both at LACC and around the world. Yet, whether it happens at Hoylake or somewhere else down the line, McIlroy has no choice but to believe that the fine margins will favor him once again. In the face of another disappointing defeat, though, it's the only thing that could make the pain he felt after his final round worth it. "I would go through 100 Sundays like this to get my hands on another major championship," Rory said. "When I do finally win this next major, it's going to be really, really sweet." Rory McIlroy's response to Wyndham Clark's triumph at the US Open showcased a blend of disappointment, unwavering determination, and an unshakable belief in his skills. As he analyzed his own performance, Rory demonstrated a genuine eagerness to learn from his experiences and implement necessary adjustments for upcoming tournaments. Despite his setbacks, his optimism remained unyielding, highlighting his resolute dedication to claiming another major championship for himself. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on golf news, remember to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel and share your thoughts in the comments section below.